Hi everyone, I'm Andy Cook. I'm Harbor Food Services Restaurant Consultant in Residence, and this video is to introduce to you and to preview what you can discover if you were to come and visit me at the Restaurant Solutions section of the Harbor Food Show that's taking place at the Tacoma Convention Center on September 20th. We are following a theme with this show, this portion of the show that we're calling Restaurant 2.0, and the premise is that Restaurant version 1 was developed decades ago for a much different world, a different workforce, and we had different tools and regulations surrounding us. Fast forward to today, we've been adapting to that model and often falling behind for a long time. And when COVID came around, it did a few things. It exposed where we were weak, but it also opened up insight into the public, and so we have an opportunity now to take the best pieces of the industry, bring in new systems and technologies that are ready for the modern age, and build a more hopeful restaurant model for the future. And that's why we're calling it Restaurant 2.0. Now, in this area, you're going to see some exhibitors, and I just want to let you know that the people that are there, they're there not to sell a product, which I'm sure that if it's a right fit for you, they would love to sell you product. It's there to help fulfill a purpose, and the purpose is to tell a story and to have some examples that can show you in action what some of these new technologies and systems and resources, how they can be applied in your business, whether it's today or whether it's an aspiration you can start working for towards tomorrow. And so let me give you a quick rundown of what some of those things look like, and then invite you to make this a more personal experience by contacting me or some of the exhibitors that you're going to find in the space. The first one is my chef counterpart, Derek Boogie, is going to be there to help show you the value of speed scratch and help you identify when it's appropriate, where it's appropriate, and the impact that it can have on your business. Now, speed scratch, if you're not familiar with it, these are essentially pre-prepped items. French fries are speed scratch. Buns are speed scratch. Pre-formed patties, also speed scratch. So we're already there, but there's a whole catalog that you can be dipping into, which, I'll be honest, in many cases, the unit prices are a little bit more, but the savings in labor and the consistency they provide and the reduction of yield, all of those things become a lot more critical. But not everything is for everything. So Derek's going to be there to help identify what your needs are and help guide you in the right direction, so you can start moving there with your sales consultant. Near Derek, I've invited a woman named Susan Shelton. She's from the Washington State's Department of Health, and you may or may not know this, but there was changes to the retail food code earlier this year, and there's about 10 significant pieces that many people may not even be aware of. Well, Susan's not there for enforcement. Susan is there for education. So whatever it is that you don't understand or would like to understand better, Susan's going to be there to provide you with the information and context that you would need to set up a plan and ensure that the next time a health inspector comes to check you out, that you ace it. And I've had a lot of conversations with her, and I find her to be a lovely person. Also in attendance is Margin Edge. Margin Edge is there to help you see in real time what a good recipe and invoice management system, what kind of a positive impact that can have on your operations. Now, to do all of that, to recipe costing and inventory management, to do that analog, it takes a lot of time, energy, and commitment that a lot of us just don't have. And so getting a good system that will track all of those and give you an easy button report of what you are actually paying for each plate, or to help guide your staffing through recipes, and some even include learning management systems in there. It gives you an easy button approach to a really critical piece of data that you can benefit from. Imagine the last year if you could be able to tell at the press of a button exactly how much you were paying to make a hamburger, including labor. If you would have those information on hand, how much more accurate could your prices and menu be today? And so, again, Brian from Margin Edge will be there to show you what Margin Edge can do, but it'll be a great example of what can be done with many different recipe management tools. Also in attendance, I've had a company called DeliverAct come, and that's to answer the call that I've heard from a lot of different operators, that managing their Off-site dining ordering platforms has been problematic, let's just say that, and to the point where many are just not doing third-party delivery, even though there could be some revenue stream there, or they've reduced their third-party delivery streams down to one, and that's because it takes labor and attention to manage that platform. Well, with a service like DeliverAct, you have an aggregator now, and so however many third-party ordering systems that you have plugged into it, it all funnels into one dashboard, one menu that if you change will change all the menus, and it funnels it directly into your point of sale. So there is no human contact necessary in between. You can opt in for that human resource if you'd like, but you can also go in there and tell the system, I don't want any more than this amount of orders coming in during a 1 hour period. So it's got a lot of really cool features that you can start exploring and then leaning into how you can apply that in your business. Now, I also have Spot On point of sale, and I've invited Spot On because they are not only have all the features, hardware, software, and integrations that you need to be successful with a point of sale today, but they've got a few developments in the pipeline that are ready for tomorrow, and very, very few point of sales have this. And what I'm talking about right now are dynamic QR codes. The cool thing about dynamic QR codes is that those, in conjunction with handheld point of sales, can reduce your labor demand of front of house by a couple people or more, because by having that mobile point of sale, a server that could function as a yo-yo between a stationary point of sale and their section limits them at like proper service at like 5 or 6 tables. This blows that up to 10 or more, maybe even 15 depending on your model. And that's just by having a handheld in conjunction with the dynamic QR code. A dynamic QR code will give your diners the ability to scan the QR code and start contributing to their own check. So you won't have all of those missed opportunities of, I would like to order another drink, but there's no one here for me to give that drink to. I would like to pay my check, but I'm waiting for my server. And there's so many different instances where restaurants that are using this, the few that are starting to be early adopters, they're seeing check averages go up 10, 20 or more percent. And on average, and they're able to execute their dining room with 2 or 3 less servers. It also gives them the flexibility to put their high skill servers right in front to provide more hospitality experiences while they have their less skilled front of house people operating as runners, ensuring that all those extra orders that are being submitted are being delivered. They have 2 other key features that I think are very important. One is a kitchen display. That's not new, but it might give you a good opportunity to see what a kitchen display system in action looks like, and how you can not only make the flow of information more fluid in your kitchen, but by doing so, you'll find that you'll need maybe 1 less cook during a turn. And to have a kitchen display on the expo side gives your front of house staff a visual line of sight to answer questions that they would normally be interrupting the thought processes of your kitchen in order to find out. And so it solves a lot of those problems all on its own. Something else that they're doing that I think is really worth considering is they have a dual price model. So it's a way of organizing and displaying a check that offers a cash discount for people that pay with cash, saving you the merchant services on that. So I think that's pretty cool too. I just don't have a lot of key information to share with you right now in the video, but they will at the show. And finally, I think probably one of the most novel exhibitors that I have in the space are server robots. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I don't think server robots belong in every restaurant, but the restaurants that they do belong in, it's quite a novel experience, and it's memorable and it's cool. So even if you have no interest, it's going to be cool to come and see a few R2-D2s run around with a bunch of food and drinks in their bellies and show you how that can be delivered. If it is practical for you, I'm telling you that I came into it skeptical and I wanted to see it for the novelty, but I came out feeling pretty optimistic because if it's appropriate for you, considering the cost of labor, this robot will be paid for in less than a few months, and then it's free labor after that. All you're really paying for is the electricity, and it just helps to move things around. I can see these even being used as robot bus tubs. So I'm pre-bussing, filling this guy up, hitting a button and telling him to go to the dishwasher, and off it goes. And then gets sent back from the dishwasher. Anyhow, it's pretty cool. And then interspersed throughout the entire show is I'm going to be telling the story that I'm trying to tell you now in more detail, and then inviting these exhibitors to come up and speak to some of these specific topics that I've been talking about now: the dynamic dining, the kitchen display systems, the third-party order aggregators, and more. And so please come and find me. I think I'll have the same face, and let's start having a conversation, and we'll figure out where to go from there. I can't wait to meet you.